we recognized that it was important for us to be more involved in school to create a diversion from engaging in gang activity.
The police, promoting positive behavior among students, and
affirm me so that I can learn.
Students needing that reassurance from teachers to be their best. Plus what every man should know about prostate cancer. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson and this is Jamaica Magazine.
No traffic is allowed through the 3 miles intersection of the corporate area. Motorists coming from Mandela Highway or Spanish Town Road heading towards Halfway Tree may detour along Washington Boulevard. Those heading towards the downtown Crossroad area from Spanish Town Road may travel through the communities of Waterhouse or Portmore. The 3 miles intersection and environs are being upgraded to create a seamless connection between the corporate area and St. Catherine.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, September 20. The state of emergency will remain in effect for the St. Catherine North Police Division until January 2019. On Wednesday, the House of Representatives unanimously approved what is the second extension for the enhanced security measure, which would have ended on October 2.
This is deemed to be necessary to satisfy the short to medium-term objectives of the special measure. Importantly, it will reinforce the pillars of transformation that will be seen as part of the long-term results of these actions.
Prime Minister Holness told the House that there had been a 68% reduction in murders and shootings since the state of emergency was implemented on March 18 this year. He also said several communities in the area were grateful for the measure, adding that the security forces had stepped up their operations to a more investigation-based strategy.
Several gang leaders have been arrested, and we are breaking gangs, which is very important. Mr. Speaker, we are gathering greater intelligence. We are building greater networks of cooperation in the communities. And ultimately, it is this better policing that will lead to the sustainable reduction in crime.
Minister Darrell Vaz is calling on the international community to support CARICOM's Small Island Developing States, SIDS, in refinancing their main source of catastrophe risk insurance. The Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, CCRIF, provides countries in the region with insurance coverage for earthquakes, tropical cyclones, and excess rainfall. The CCRIF is currently in the process of developing products for drought, as well as for the fisheries and agriculture sectors.
We urge the international community to support CARICOM SIDS in their drive to recapitalize the CCRIF. Many SIDS cannot afford the insurance premiums. Maybe it is that the G7 group here today can help us in relation to that aspect.
Minister Vaz was addressing Wednesday's plenary session of the G7 ministers meeting on the environment, energy and oceans in Nova Scotia, Canada. The September 19 to 21 meeting aims to come up with solutions on climate change, clean energy and plastic pollution. Minister Vaz also called on the international community to reclassify CARICOM's Small Island Developing States so they can access funds at concessionary rates to build disaster resilience. Government has opened the first transitional living complex for females exiting state care. The facility, which was built at the cost of $135 million, was opened in Kingston on Tuesday. It will house 40 females aged 18 to 21 years old who will benefit from life coaching to prepare them for independent living after a 2-year period.
I think this project is a testament to the shared vision across administrations about what is needed to strengthen our child protection service. And that is why the project hasn't stopped. In fact, what we've tried to do is accelerate the project and expand the project.
The transitional living complex includes single, double, and 4-bedroom occupancy, shared dining and kitchen area, a laundry room, and a manager's suite and office. The State Minister says plans are far advanced to open the second transitional complex in St. Andrew and a third in St. Elizabeth. The welfare of the poor in Trelawney has been boosted with $1 million of additional funding. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the money will be provided to the Trelawney Poor Relief Department.
The Poor Relief Department over the years continued to work in most cases with limited resources. They lack the requisite tools to carry out the job, and in most cases they operate in conditions which are not really conducive for the role that they play.
Minister McKenzie says government is committed to the welfare of the poor, pointing out that $300 million is being spent to upgrade the island's infirmaries. He was speaking at a recent sitting of the Trelawney Municipal Corporation. While there, the minister handed over tablets and desktop computers to the parish's Poor Relief Department and 9 councillors. The Ministry of Health is warning parents and teachers to be alert for persons who will try to sell or give substances to children. The warning comes after 19 children at a primary school in St. Thomas ingested unprescribed pills on September 13 and 14 given to them by an unauthorized person. Most of the children, some of whom eventually complained of abdominal pain and drowsiness, were assessed at the Princess Margaret Hospital A&E unit after the St. Thomas Health Department was alerted by the school's principal on September 14. One child was taken to a private practitioner by the parent. The ministry says one child was treated for mild allergy and all 18 children seen at Princess Margaret had blood investigations done that were normal, but the liver function tests remain outstanding. The incident has prompted the Health Ministry to remind parents to educate their children about not taking unknown substances which may appear harmless and look like familiar items such as sweets. In the event of the accidental or intentional ingestion of suspicious items, persons are advised to seek immediate medical attention. And finally, an Education Management Information System, EMIS, is being developed to provide a more detailed, data-driven profile of students. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid says the EMIS will be supported by information from the National Student Registration System, capturing biographical and other data on all students entering Grade 1. He says the system will support better planning and management within the education sector and allow the ministry to intervene and give special support where necessary. The Education Minister was speaking at a recent Regional Data Security Conference in Kingston. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Motorists. East Avenue of Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston is temporarily one-way. Coming from Marcus Garvey Drive, motorists are only allowed to head north onto East Avenue. Also, motorists are not allowed to turn left from Balmoral Avenue onto Maxfield Avenue. Chisholm Avenue and Oakland Road are also one-way roads going west from Balmoral Avenue. New traffic signals have been installed to indicate the short-term changes to the road network of Kingston.
We are men with a message, and the youth them need to hear this.
We know everything about thug life.
Been there, done that.
Prison and a nice place, stay in school.
Serious thing I tell you.
And a joke thing this. You can't tell me about hungry. That's no excuse. Leave the badness alone. Nobody narrate you.
Them just afraid of you. Live positive, remember.
A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information have partnered on initiatives to steer our youth from a life of crime. One is the Anti-Gang Awareness Campaign, which extends to schools. Sessions are held on the signs of gang involvement, how to treat with such issues, and diversion strategies with students, parents, and school administrators. Here's more.
We recognize that it was important for us to be more involved in school to create a diversion from engaging in gang activity. One of the components of our gang strategy as an organization, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, is diversion. How do we divert people away from gang? We will be targeting a number of schools, in fact 150 schools, and we will engage the student and to make presentation, not only to student, but parents as well and teachers, in terms of identify what are some of the things that they should look for in respect of students who might be drawn towards involving in gangs.
We try to let them see, that the youngsters see the negatives, the far-reaching effects of being involved in these groups, their own well-being, their own development. And that in itself should, in a real way, have them think twice as to joining these criminal groups. We should look at a set of actions as parents to guide us to seek intervention to get them away from this kind of a thing. Parents ought to look for signs such as changes in behavior, having unaccounted for valuables, dressing in a particular way, using certain language, as well as, being unaccountable for most of the time, at places where they may be hanging out with other gang members. I must hasten to say, though, that teenagers do have some of these, do exhibit some of these signs as teenagers, so we must not just take it for granted that they are members or they are inclining to be members of criminal organizations. While we see signs of behaviors in institutions, and while some of these institutions fall within certain geographic areas where the gangs are pronounced, what we actually have been seeing really is more of not necessarily gangs in schools, but persons who attend schools do from time to time get involved in the wider gang networks that are most oftentimes in these areas where these schools are from.
CTOC did presentations to approximately 1,000 principals across 6 educational regions. They also presented at 2 of our back-to-school conferences held in July, and a total of over 3,000 persons, include board chairs, bursars, principals, and teachers, deans of discipline, benefited from their special intervention. The partnership therefore continues as we seek to present to students. And later we will engage the National Parenting Support Commission as well as the National Parenting Teachers Association to address parents with this similar presentation. Almost 100 schools have been sensitized about the Police Youth Club, and currently there are 50 schools that have the active police youth clubs in their schools. I must also point out that as part of the strategy to use the interventions earlier in terms of prevention, we have actually rolled out the police youth club in our early childhood institutions, and we've already launched 2 of them. And so we're building out from that level all the way up. So hopefully by the time they get to primary and secondary, we have children that our society can be proud of.
It is said that youth are likely to join gangs during their teenage years when parental significance and supervision are removed and replaced by peer influence. So it is important for us to see ourselves as a part of it. It's not left to a few people, the school system, the police, but everybody must get involved. Some of the youth that we consider to be having behavioral problem, if we can improve on their self-esteem and let them feel a sense of belonging and cause them to feel important, we'll see significant changes. So I'm saying, let's love our children, let's show our children that they are important, and let's join in the activity to engage our children and let them know that they are the future. And if we invest in them, the problem of gangs and violence will be reduced.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hiding. You think I saw we reach a the aging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
We all want our children to succeed in life and demonstrate their full potential. And it will take the effort of just about everyone they come in contact with. For example, the teachers who they rely on for affirmation of their ability to learn.
How many is that? 20. All right, so of my population, we have strongly agree. So let's count up all the persons who agree over here. Count 10 plus 2, 12 persons agreed. Everybody understands what was taught a while ago about interconnection?
It's important that our teachers ensure that we understand the work so that when we go home, we can be able to study it on our own so we can get better grades or good grades on our tests so that we can get something good. It makes me feel very happy to know that there is a teacher who might help me if I do not understand.
Assurance means so much to our children. It's motivation for them to perform at their very best, even right here in the classroom. And my little friends, Miracle, Alyssa, Rihanna, and Latanya will agree as I ask them this very important question. Why do you want your teacher to make sure that you are learning?
Because in our future, we'll have to get some good careers and it will mess us up. For instance, if you are going to be a chef, you got to learn what ingredients to use and what to not use.
As Miracle said, it will interfere with our future if we don't get a good education or not. So it is very important for our teachers to teach us so that it doesn't interfere with our careers and our future.
Affirm me that I can learn.
What do you want from your teacher?
Like her attitude supposed to be good. So if I say I don't understand and she's doing it over and over again and she been making up her face, I like her to work on her attitude. Well, I would like her to work on the way she explains it because it would be nice if they would go a little slower and go through it with us so that we can get to understand it properly. Affirm me so that I can learn.
Thomas, you heard the students. They say they want teachers to explain more to them
They want them to don't speak too soft or too harsh to them to make sure that they are learning. What do you say to that?
First and foremost, I do believe, like the children, that teachers have to be patient. And even though somebody may be a very good student in one subject area, they may not be a very good student in another subject area. And secondly, explanation is part of the curriculum.
What are some of the things that you do? What are some of the methods that you use as a teacher to make sure that your students are learning?
Some students understand quicker, some don't, so we can pair them up with those who don't understand, because sometimes peer learning is better than even us explaining. But I find that they understand better and they understand longer, so they remember longer when they work on it themselves, and it is the same for us as adults. So the confidence that they have help them to develop and want to learn more, even if the topic is something that they didn't like in the first place.
It is good to know that you have somebody that you can go to that is willing to help you to understand what is being taught. Affirm me so that I can learn. I feel good when my teacher gives me good comments on my work.
Like, keep it up. Good job. And those are some compliments that will motivate children as they go on in life.
I will continue to affirm my students that their learning benefits them.
Affirm me that I can learn.
Did you know regular physical activity controls your weight, reduces your risk of cardiovascular diseases, reduces your risk for type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome, reduces your risk of some cancers, strengthens your bones and muscles, and increases your chance of living longer? Get active, get fit, stay healthy.
We turn now to a very important health matter, prostate cancer, one of the leading causes of death among men. But with regular checkups and early detection, lives can be saved.
Many people think having prostate cancer is a death sentence, but urologists say the disease can actually be treated and patients can lead a normal and productive life. The key is early detection.
Which means that men, from they reach the age of 40, they must get their rectal examination and PSA done on a yearly basis. And once it is caught early, generally speaking, you can lead a normal, productive life with treatment.
Urologists say a man may be going about his everyday normal business, feeling perfectly healthy and unknowingly suffering from prostate cancer. The only sure way to know is to go to a doctor for a blood test and rectal examination. According to urologists, prostate cancer is the most common cancer affecting Jamaican men. It is also the most common cancer deaths among Jamaican men.
Recent statistics show that the Caribbean region as a whole has the highest death rate from prostate cancer in the entire world. And Jamaica's mortality or death rate is especially high from prostate cancer.
This statistic is a concern for the region's health authorities because valuable and productive lives are being lost to the disease. The Ministry of Health here in Jamaica has been urging Jamaican men to regularly do prostate cancer screenings.
Now I know Jamaican men don't like to have this test done, but the fact is, it is a painless test done in a very professional manner. It takes about 5 to 10 seconds, and this is a test that could save your life.
By the time the symptoms appear, the cancer has already spread beyond the prostate. This is called advanced prostate cancer. Symptoms may include frequent urination, especially at night, inability to urinate, trouble starting or holding back urination, a weak or interrupted flow of urine, painful or burning urination, blood in the urine or semen, painful ejaculation, and frequent pain in the lower back, hips, or upper thighs. Experts say all men are at risk of prostate cancer, and the most common risk factor is age. More than 70% of men diagnosed with prostate cancer each year are over the age of 65.
Prostate cancer also tends to run in families. So if a man has a family history of prostate cancer, he is more likely to develop cancer.
Besides family history, Dr. Aiken says there are some dietary factors that can increase the risk of having prostate cancer.
Saturated fats, animal meat, red meat in particular, dairy products, milk, butter, cheese, ice cream, yogurt. These things, when consumed on a habitual and long-term basis, are thought to put you at increased risk of prostate cancer. Eat more fish. We eat more soy products. If we're going to drink milk, then soy milk is probably better. Green tea, more pomegranate juice. These are some of the things that may help to prevent prostate cancer.
Studies have also shown that physical activity can reduce the risk of prostate cancer.
So I would recommend that a man does at least a half an hour's exercise for a minimum of 3 times a week.
Residents of Portmore St. Catherine, due to the traffic restrictions at 3 miles in the corporate area, the following routes may be considered. If heading towards Halfway Tree from Portmore, motorists may travel along Marcus Garvey Drive on the East Avenue, then to Maxfield Avenue, and on to Halfway Tree. If heading towards downtown, the easiest route remains the same. Travel along Marcus Garvey, then into the Capitol. Follow the road signs for an easy commute from and to Portmore St. Catherine.
As we close today's show, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, and while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.